Hey guys, it's Xlizandria X, and I like to make content on YouTube, and the type of content I like to make are vlogs, sometimes talking videos, TV show commentary, and movie commentary. If you are new here, subscribe down below, and if you're not new here, welcome back to this channel. And today in this video is a total drama video, shocker shocker, and today we're actually going to be talking about why Total Drama Island is actually the best season. There has been a lot of, talk about, I've seen on YouTube people explaining why Total Drama World Tour is the best season. It's always between TDI and TDWT. I'm on the side of TDI, and I'm going to explain to you why I think, personally, this is just my opinion. Don't come for me. Like, this is literally my own personal opinion. Like, I have a right to have my own opinion. First of all, that's even why I'm making this video in the first place. First things first, the reason why I think TDI is literally the better season, because I think the storyline is a lot better. I think TDI really just showcases the storyline of Total Drama perfectly. I mean, it's the first season, and usually a lot of first seasons in a lot of television shows start out rocky. They're really just trying to find their place on a platform. But I think Total Drama Island actually portrayed, they knew that this was going to be a show about a camp for teenagers, and there was going to be drama with the setup of the whole reality TV setup. They knew that's what the show was about. And I think the storylines between characters and just the storyline between the challenges, which why somebody got voted off, it just makes a whole bunch of sense. Maybe I may do an analysis video on comparing TDI and Total Drama World Tour as to why they are like the top two seasons and which one is actually the better season, just by like analysis. However, this is really just my personal opinion, so like I said, we're still sticking to my personal opinion. I just personally believe that the storyline is honestly a lot better in TDI. Everything flows perfectly, especially since it is the first season. These are like very fresh characters. In the beginning, we don't know who they are. Well, if you haven't watched Total Drama over and over and over and over and over again for the last like 6 years of your life, aside from that, we don't know who these characters are. In the first season, they're very fresh and they're very new, so this gives you time to build up who you like the most, or this gives you time to really know these characters and like who they really are and their personalities. It starts to make sense, especially since the show is based off stereotypes and archetypes in the very first season, which sometimes stereotypes and archetypes can get a little bit of annoying, but for the most part, it's whatever. The second part I really do enjoy about TDI is actually the friendships. Well, I made a video on my YouTube channel. Actually, when I first started YouTube, I actually link it up here for you, so you can actually go watch it. I have like a particular type of friend groups that I like in the show. Like I said, you can just go watch that video because I kind of explain who are my favorite friendships. But I think the friendships in that show, and especially in TDI, are very strong, and they're really good friendships as well. Let's take a break from the relationship with like all those other people, and let's just talk about the friendships for once. Those friendships were built really strong and built on trust really early, and obviously the show really tries to emulate a real reality TV show, but obviously just in a cartoon form. And I feel like with actual reality TV that we saw in the 2000s, things happen like that where people make friendships like that very smoothly and very suavely, and I actually did enjoy the friendships because the friendships were just a lot more wholesome in TDI. I would say by the time we got to World Tour, the friendships had came and gone because it just has been destructed by the writers, especially with Action. I probably should make a separate video on Action. Action is just a season that fell flat. It really just fell flat, but then they bounced back up with World Tour. But I can go into a whole story, but I'm not really going to. That's another story for another day. The friendships in TDI are my favorite. They are the top friendships ever, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love the friendships in Total Drama Island. What I like also about TDI, just like a little quick one, is that Chris is not crazy. Chris is not trying to eliminate the kids in the first season like that. He's a very average host. That's just a little side note, that Chris isn't crazy in the first season. I want to talk about Heather. I like Heather a lot in the first season. Although Heather was built as a character for the you love to hate her, because she's mean, she's conniving, and obviously as the audience that was supposed to, you know, show to the audience like, hey, you're not supposed to like her. She's a really good villain. I could really go into as well how Heather is also a really good villain, but just to very briefly, she's a really good villain because she plans everything out strategically to build up herself to get to number one, to get to the cash prize. And that's really what I like about Heather. She's very strategic. She thinks about everything that she does in order to get an upper hand in the competition. And that's why Heather is also a really good villain. I think that's just the short reason as to why Heather is such a good villain. If you want to watch more Heather villain videos, I actually like Jaynalysis video, Janiac Jr. video about Heather. I'll actually go on and leave that one linked as well, because the Janiac Jr. video about Heather analysis was actually a really good analysis. The reason why I like TDI a lot better is because the people who got kicked off for a good reason, like the elimination order, was a good elimination order. I actually do like that. I think the only people who got, it was like a dumb elimination, obviously Lashana. Lashana definitely got robbed. I'm sorry, she got robbed. My girl Lashana, like, my girl can't win. Like, why can't she win? And I also have a video about Lashana and Courtney, if they competed in a finale together. Make sure you go watch that as well. But my girl just got robbed. Like, they kicked her off because a parrot was saying her name. She got voted off for the most dumbest thing ever. I did dislike that the writers did that to my girl Lashana, and I don't like that. Lindsay had a very stupid elimination, and it was all of Lindsay's right. She had all this anger built up from Heather disrespecting her and everything. So I do not blame Lindsay for doing that. I do not blame Lindsay for really honestly getting mad at Heather. But Lashana and Lindsay's elimination was one of the most dumbest eliminations in TDI. Everybody else kind of got kicked off very reasonably. I mean, DJ, and his was kind of meh. As goes for Lashana. Lindsay, yeah, they definitely got unfairly voted off. That's all I really have to say about TDI and why it's my personal favorite season. Also, it's just the very first season of the show. It has this certain nostalgia to it. Maybe one day I might cosplay as Courtney. As you guys know, Courtney is literally my favorite character. I have a video about her derailment. I'll leave that linked up there as well, so you guys can go watch that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe, and I hope that you have a good day. Bye.